And there you go. Now we all know we're recording in progress. All right. So on behalf of the board, I would like to acknowledge the traditional land on which we are gathered is Treaty 6 land. We'd like to thank the diverse Indigenous peoples whose ancestors' footsteps have marked this territories for centuries, such as the Cree, Dene, the Saulteaux, Nakota Sioux, and Blackfoot peoples. We also acknowledge this as the Métis homeland and the home of the largest concentration of Inuit south of the 60th parallel. It is a welcoming place for all peoples who come from around the world to share the Edmonton metropolitan region as home. And that's our land acknowledgement for that we do at the beginning of every meeting. And yeah. Now, board members, we have a revised agenda before us. And certainly, even though I didn't bang the gavel, I certainly called the meeting to order at 2:30. All right, so I'll need a motion to approve the revised agenda as presented. Would someone care to do that? Thank you, Councillor Finstad. Everybody sees that. Let me call the question. All in favor of approving the revised agenda as presented? And we'll use the raise the hand function for those online, and that is a unanimous approval. Thank you very much. Moving right along, we have the consent agenda, and for the most part, the public business of the commission today is on the consent agenda. And on the consent agenda is the approval of the July 21st, 2022 regular board meeting minutes, the approval of the August 15th, 2022 regular audit and finance committee minutes, the Q2 financial update, and the procurement summary report. And so as the big issue on the consent agenda is the audit and finance committee minutes, can I ask you to make the move?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll move that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Thank you very much. Any comments? All right, let me call the question. All in favor, please raise your hand. And I see 3 online, and that's approved unanimously. Thank you very much. All right, so the business of the commission today is sensitive in nature, and it will eventually all become public. Nonetheless, there are still provisions of the Freedom of Information Protection of Privacy Act that allow us to go into camera and discuss these things. Ultimately, they will all be going forward. It's budgetary and those sorts of issues. So for those online and who are interested in this material, it will eventually become public in the next couple of weeks. So we have a motion before us to move in camera. Councillor Harris, can I ask you to make that motion?
That the board move in camera in accordance with provisions of Division 2, exceptions to disclosure of the Freedom of Information Protection of Privacy Act, FOIP, RSA 2000, Chapter F 25, as per Section 16 through 28.
Thank you very much, Councillor Harris. Let me call the question. All in favor of going in camera, please raise your hand. See 3 here, and I see 3 online, and myself, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. And we'll wait until the recording ceases, and then we'll resume the meeting in camera. Welcome back, everyone who may be watching online. We are now reconvened in public as a board of the Edmonton Metropolitan Transit Services Commission. Just for the public's understanding of the topics that we discussed, public engagement, opening day service and cost allocation, government stakeholder relations, service brand update, meeting management, effective the withdrawal of a member, insurance update, and HR update. So all of those things, most of them will be discussed in public at a future meeting. And hopefully you will all join us at that point in time. So board, now we have a motion to accept as information the materials and the discussions presented in camera. Can I ask somebody to make that motion? Councillor Finstad, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the board accept as information the materials and discussion as presented in camera.
Thank you very much. I'll call the question. All in favor? And that is passed unanimously. Thank you very much, everyone, for a quite engaging meeting, I must admit. And again, Councillor Laurie, congratulations on 15 years of marital bliss. And I want you to say that to your wife. All right. Thanks, everybody online. We stand adjourned. And thanks, everybody, for taking. Oh, just before we go. So, and I recognize that we have, there's this opportunity to attend these meetings virtually, and I don't want to take that away from anybody. But we're coming up to September 1st, a couple of fairly significant meetings. If at all possible, if we can convene in person here, it would just be helpful. If you can't, I understand, as does everybody else understand. Life happens. But if you can, be nice to meet in person. Thank you.
I'll be there in person on the 1st. Sorry, I couldn't make it there.
It's no, this is not casting aspersions. It's
No,
just-
I'm just letting you know. I just with my other schedule, I couldn't balance it, but I have prioritized the 1st to be there in person.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody. Meeting adjourned.
I'll see you in person on the 1st.
Yeah.